Good Monday morning. Good morning to you, Jim.
Morning.
Today, folks, we hope to have with us Julie Oligschlaeger, the co-founder and vice president of the Corporal Chad Eric Oligschlaeger Foundation for PTSD. We're having some technical difficulties on her end. She's going to keep trying to come on. We can get her picture on, but her mic's not working. And so we're working through some of that. So, folks, stay tuned. We hope to have her on. She's going to keep trying. We don't know if that'll be successful or not. So in the meantime, we'll until Julie can come on, we'll talk a lot about this USAID again. It is still a nightmare for the Dems. It is. It's absolutely still a nightmare for the Dems, and that's good. And so the target is being hit, and that's exactly what it's all about. We'll talk about that. We have some other things to discuss. We'll discuss the Super Bowl and the whatever that thing happened at halftime. I don't know what it was, but again, another usual Super Bowl crappy halftime show. I mean, I don't get it, Jim.
Me neither, dude.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, so that plus so much more. We hope to get Julie on. It's really what this is all about today.
Yeah.
So please stay tuned for that. Hopefully we can work all that out. Jim, so that so much more on what, brother?
Live Patriot Prayer Network Studios.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That would be two guys.
It would.
One coop.
Be right back. And good morning to you, Jim. Good morning, everybody out there. We'll go through, Buckeye, Aiken, Emsdad, everybody who's joining. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining in. Again, we hope to have Julie Oligschlaeger. I don't know why I can't say the name. My last name, you'd think I'd be able to say any name. And welcome to according to Jim. Yep.
I like that, Aiken. I like that a lot.
Plus, our top
good
five,
morning, Lene. Thank you for
good morning, Lenative.
Yeah, early out there.
Yeah, it is early, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for sharing too. We know he does, and we know you all do, and we appreciate that. We forgot to mention our top five, which is top five at the end of the show. Top five foods that make you gag.
Is it okay if I titled mine "Top 5 Worst Foods"? I didn't.
Of course, you did something.
Well, it's the same damn thing, and there's gag.
I put gag. Makes you gag. You just can't stomach it. That's what it's about.
Foods, and they make me gag.
Okay. Well, are they the worst foods to you, or just?
Aren't these all the worst foods? Because some of the foods on this list, some people may enjoy.
I don't know. You probably have like mayonnaise or something. Again, where the whole condiment thing is going to drive me nuts with people.
No, I have no condiments.
Yeah.
I have something on my. No, I am not cheating. I am not cheating.
You're about to say I have something on mine. I'm not even taking this down to.
No, the only thing on my list that I have, I consider it a thing that people put on a plate for decoration, but other people are now starting to eat it as a salad, and it's gross.
Parsley?
No,
Okay.
kale. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
All right. Yep. All right. Yep.
Larry, Crazy Southpaw, it's on there.
I know. That's ridiculous.
Just we'll get into it in a minute.
Yeah, I will, because then I'll tell a little story about you and your onions.
Because these make me gag. The food on here make me gag, but it's the worst foods according to me that I just don't.
Probably got bananas on there, but it's probably only the way you eat them is why.
You'll agree with two of them. Trust me, you'll agree with two of them.
Right, Jim? You probably got bananas on
like a hot dog or something.
It's just the way you eat it.
What's wrong with the way you eat a banana?
Boy, this show's gonna go south. Poor Julie. She is like having these technical issues. As soon as she came on before the show, of course, we did this all before the show, folks. So so we could test out, cameras and mics and all that. And we initially heard her. Let's bring her up. Let's see. She came up
now.
Can you hear us, Julie?
Okay.
She can hear us. So let's see if we can hear her.
Okay.
We might have to bring her. We can hear you.
Okay. I finally just did my phone. I'm like, okay, we'll just do this on the phone.
That's what some people have to do.
You know what might happen though? Your phone might time out. So I don't know if it will or not. So we'll see.
Oh my God. Don't say that.
I know. I'm just saying. Why wouldn't it happen?
So, there's no show prep. So you're live.
You're live. Yeah. Here we are. Live for the world to see. And we're getting dizzy now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I was trying to find a way I could plug this phone in just in case so it didn't die. But okay, I'll be good.
If you have to, I'll be good. You're on the wrong show if you're going to be good.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right off the bat. Thank you so much for coming on and going through what you had to go through this morning just to make this appearance.
I love the background.
Yeah, I do too. So
yeah.
That is really cool.
Absolutely wonderful. And so kind of a background story a little bit here. Obviously we work with the Warrior Shield Foundation. The Warrior Shield Foundation every year has what they call a Warrior Weekend, and it's in honor of another organization that they help support. And they really vet out these organizations. They do. They get hundreds and hundreds of requests for, hey, can you help us out? We'd love to participate. And so to narrow it down to the Corporal Chad O Foundation, one was really, I think, an honor for them and for you as well, because it's so important to discuss this. And of course, Steve Cleverly's work on it, who just the guy's a rock star.
Steve,
oh, there he is. Mama Julie in the house.
Steve's listening. He says, "Mama Julie in the house."
Is in the house. So, I mean, he really is the one who brought it up to the board, and they looked and they said, "Yeah, this," and his passion for it really shined through, and his push for it really did help. And we can't wait. We can't wait to meet you in person. We can't wait for the whole weekend. But the work doesn't start or stop there. Just a little bit about Julie. So if you don't know, she's the co-founder and vice president of the Corporal Chad Eric Oligschlaeger. I have a terrible last name, and so does Jim, and I have trouble saying yours all the time. Oligschlaeger. It's not that hard. It's just like it's spelled. Foundation for PTSD. It's an organization dedicated to providing public awareness, resources, and non-pharmaceutical, we'll get into that, treatments for active duty personnel, veterans, and their families affected by post-traumatic stress disorder. The story is really heart-wrenching. I went through the website, so cplchado.org, and it's scrolling on the bottom there at the end of that list, and we'll talk about that. And I don't know how you can go through that story. Just read what had happened. The timeline on the website is absolutely spot on with, just how it runs you through the whole process, and the absolute tragedy that occurred with your son, Chad. Thank you again for coming on. We're going to let you talk now. This is all about you. It's all about the organization. Start from where you want to start and how this started, or Chad growing up to whatever. I mean, did he always want to be a Marine? Was that something he had aspirations for? The floor is yours, Julie. Thank you again.
Okay. As for his being a Marine, no. we only have three. We have two uncles and one individual cousin that's in the military, but they were distant. And one of them had come back from Vietnam, and everybody kind of stayed away from him. Now I understand why. At the time, as a little kid, I did not.
Mhm.
And the other two, one was Marine, one was Army. But his influence was my father, who was a retired Texas Ranger. And grandfather, who was chief of police. So he's always been around cops. Guns. Dad took them out when they were a year old, and showed him how to shoot the guns. And then, of course, it wasn't just that; it was the education, and then he'd make them clean them up. It wasn't just, hey, let's go have fun. So
Correct.
I really thought he'd law enforcement. I really thought that. And then high school, he met a Marine, so he did that delayed entry program. And I really thought, it's just a phase. He's not going to do it. Well, he graduated when he was 17, and he needed a signature to go in, and he was going to do the buddy program. Yep. And I didn't want to sign it. Eric didn't want to sign it. And I kept asking him questions. And finally, I started reading up on the Marines, and I made a comment. I'm like, why the Marines? Because I noticed their boot camp was a lot longer. Yeah. And his comment was, they're the best of the best. Mm-hmm. So, can't say that for sure. I love all the branches, but that's what he did. So I don't really know if that was really the truth, but that's what he told me. I signed the paper, and he started boot camp at 17.
Yep. Wow.
So,
from there, that's when the things start kind of really transforming after boot camp and what took place. Tell us as much as you want and as much as you can about that, if you don't mind.
No. He went through boot camp. He had a lot of good stories there, but when he got out, he was supposed to be deployed right away. And instead they sent him to Mortarman School, which I was grateful for, because again, the war is going on. Everything is crazy. And then he did go. He went right when the Sunni uprising was happening. Everything was going on. I got as many phone calls as possibly could. There was times where I'd be talking to him, and you'd hear this door slam open, and all you'd hear is, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. And he'd say, love you, Mom. End of the call. Didn't talk to him for 2 weeks. And I'm a nervous wreck. Sure. I would not watch the news because they report shit anyway. They don't tell the truth.
Got that right.
So it was just, anytime that phone rang and I knew it was one of those sat phones, I picked it up. I didn't care if I was at a meeting. I was actually about to leave on a flight one time, and it rang, and grabbed it. I thought TSA was going to tackle me because it was about to go through, and I wanted that call.
Yep.
And my friends were like, wait, it's her son. It's her son. He's in Iraq.
Yeah.
So, he did enjoy it. He loved the camaraderie. He did his job. He was good at it. When he got back from that first deployment, that's when we noticed all the changes.
Okay, so it was the first deployment.
It was that first deployment. That was the worst deployment. From the way the honor guards explained it to me, was every day your son was discharging his weapon. Every day he was picking up body parts. And I did hear that, it was constant firefights. It was bad. That was the worst.
18 or 19 years old, right? That's
correct.
Right around. Okay.
He was 19 when on his first deployment. He lost his mentor. He didn't realize it was his mentor. I heard later that it was a 2.5-hour firefight. Did not realize until he got Fitz in the Hummer, and realized it was him. And then Connolly had died in that firefight. And then Fitz died. They hit an IED, but they were called to go out. They were in Cat Black, and they were called to go out and rescue. So he didn't talk a lot about it when he got back, because he was self-medicating at the time, and it was alcohol.
Okay.
Yes. So, and of course, he was not even 21 yet, but he was. So, and I was in Phoenix, Arizona. He was in 29 Palms. So anytime any of the Marines got off and Chad got off, we'd go pick them up
Mhm.
and bring them all back to the house, as many as would fit in that vehicle.
Yeah.
And they would drink, and I would sit in the hallway and I would listen to, because they wouldn't talk to me. I mean, and I just sit there and cry because of the stories. It's just amazing. I mean, for people that are in the military, that's their business. But for a civilian, hearing what they did, what they had to do, who they had to shoot, was just, I thought, my God, no wonder he's different. He came home one night drunk and gave me his keys and asked me if God was going to forgive him for killing the women and the kids.
Oh, my Lord.
And all I could say was yes. But at the time, I trusted the military to take care of him. Very naive. I had no idea. He had to go back. Before he went back, he asked for help with the PTSD. We found a document that was for CIs only, or the CO's eyes only. It was not, I don't know how he got a hold of it, but it was when I was going through his things, I was going through a book and it fell out. And he was supposed to have gone into treatment before his second deployment. And then I heard through his other Marines that he was called names. He was called pussy, you need to suck it up. And his sergeant said that he would report him for underage drinking and having kicked out. So he went back. And I think the trigger was that he had to go back to Ramadi, the same place that horror he was in. So he would say, when I talked to him, I'd say, yeah, we were on patrol and we went by where Conley was killed and this was where Fitz was killed. And then he started naming off the different firefights. So everything he went through that second deployment, even though he didn't have to shoot anybody on that deployment, but he did have all those triggers and all those memories.
Sure.
Which yes. Go away.
And yeah, that was bad. Even that one, because when he came back, it was worse. He started having nightmares. He completely changed. And of course, very jumpy. You definitely did not walk in the bedroom and get close to him when you went to touch him. I got to where I had to touch his foot and back up because he would fly out swinging or whatnot.
Sure.
So he asked for help
natural
again.
To understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely understandable.
Yes. And now, I mean, years later, after talking to all these other veterans and active duty, yes, that is normal. I didn't know it was normal. I was I had no idea, no clue. They sent him over to Point Loma for a month before he died. And that was supposed to help because he wasn't going to re-up. And in his journals, we read all of his journals, and he would go in and ask for start talking about a particular firefight or something. And they would stop him. Oh, no, that's not that's classified. You can't talk about that in this group. And he got to where he said, I'm not even going to talk. He goes, why am I here? He kept writing, why am I here if I can't talk? Why am I here if they're not going to help me?
Yeah.
I mean, he was he didn't understand it. Yeah. You send me over here and then you do nothing.
Correct.
Well, then their nothing was, hey, where's it going to start giving you all these meds? So, Ambien, Seroquel, Lorazepam, Fluoxetine. These are stuff that propranolol that was found in his system. Some of them are beta blockers, high blood pressure medicine.
Jeez.
Seroquel.
Yeah.
And it was, again, later after, and I didn't know he's taken all these. And later I'm looking him up and I didn't how can all of these help my son deal with what is going on in his mind?
Nope.
It didn't make sense.
Correct.
It didn't make sense. You take Tylenol for a headache, but how the hell are these going to fix that's in the head? So he took them. He came home a few times. I had no idea there was that many pills, but he would say, I've got to take my pills, and he'd go and take them. He just seemed out of it. Just not good. Just
Yeah,
But
Ambien
again,
alone. I mean, it would just absolutely just. It's designed to basically zombie you out in a way.
and yes, and that's
Yeah.
what he did. I mean, when he'd go to work, he was just, he would do his work, he would go back. I mean, nobody monitored him. The other guys had re-upped, so he was kind of left on his own because the commander didn't care. Colonel Wolf didn't care because he was busy getting his group ready to go back over. They were going for another deployment. So on the 16th, that evening, May 16th, 2008, I had talked to him because he was going to go get another tattoo and put money in his account, and then didn't hear from him the next day. I mean, it was just for 5 days, 4 days, this just went on, not hearing him. He didn't move the money in his account, nothing like that. And finally, we got a hold of Tim Clark, which is one of his good buddies, the one that actually brought him home. He said, listen, we can't find him, because Adriana had just got her wedding dress because he was getting married when he got out.
Correct.
She wanted to, talk to him and everything, and she's getting worried. And he went in there and they found him on his floor. And it looked like, from what Tim had said, he had grabbed the bed and the nightstand on the way down and hit the ground. He said the pill bottles were everywhere, and he had just been laying there. Nobody has been checking on him from his last phone call on the 17th was at 12:48 a.m. And that Tuesday at 5:00, that's when they entered his room. Wow. Nobody had checked on him. No, when he didn't show up for work, nobody had gone to check on him.
Oh my
Nobody.
gosh.
So we had the autopsy report reviewed by another doctor because an outside, not a when NCIS finally gave us everything, and I needed to understand, did he take too many? Was I didn't understand the whole thing, and she said everything in his autopsy report was in line with the drugs. There wasn't an excessive amount of one, like maybe he had overdosed or something. They called it multiple drug toxicity. And all she said when she walked in our house was, you realize they killed your son.
Yep.
And I said, I gathered that. And she said, if this was administered by a civilian, you could have sued. He never would have. You would own everything, and they never would practice medicine again. He said, but because it's the military, Ferris law, oh well.
What did they rule? Did they on the death certificate? I mean, this, if it's too personal or whatever, let me know where I'm crossing the line. What did they rule?
Multiple drug toxicity. Because none of them should have been mixed. None of those drugs should have been mixed.
Did the NCIS report say that as well?
No, not that they shouldn't be mixed. No. But it did say multiple drug toxicity. Yes.
So it almost makes it appear that they were trying purposely did this to himself, almost suicidal, right?
Yes.
But
there's no suicide written anywhere. No suicide written anywhere. But when you start looking them up, like in Drug Watch and stuff, it tells you, do not take if you're taking A, B, and C. Do not take if you're taking this. And I'm like, well, I don't understand.
Yeah.
So are the doctors on these bases, are they, I would like to think they're qualified, but apparently they're not, because wouldn't the standard doctor know that these medications can't be taken together, or should
that was my assumption. I asked before they no longer took our calls anymore. That's what the DOD standards were. That was their protocol for PTSD, to administer these drugs. Yes, that was their protocol.
Wow. Absolutely heartbreaking.
So what was the response from the military to you? How did they respond to you? Did they, because this is really, his commanding officer, in my opinion, should have been gone. I mean, I don't, that really pisses me off, calling them names and crap like that.
Yes. And from what I understood, the colonel was, when all of this came out, again, they never would let me know anything. I would ask and ask and ask. But from my understanding, as Colonel Wolf was removed from that base. because of all this. But I mean,
Was
he
he
wouldn't
assigned to
even.
another one, I'm sure,
Oh yeah,
under the radar.
yeah. When I went there to go pick up all of his stuff, his men were ordered not to talk to me. And if
Wow.
one of them started giving me information, another superior would walk up and they'd look and they'd go, I got to go. And they'd walk off. When I went up to Colonel Wolf, I asked him, I said, why didn't you have eyes on your Marine? And he just looked at me and just stood there. I said, why? Why didn't you have eyes on your Marine? And his comment was, well, you have to understand, I'm getting the unit ready to go overseas. I said, I don't have to understand anything. You didn't answer my question. Nobody checked on him. He just stood there the whole time with his hands behind his back in that stance and nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Wow. How can you live with yourself knowing that?
Exactly.
That one of your guy, I mean, no man left behind, right? We know the whole routine. It's bullshit in the end, you know, and not for everybody. I'm not talking about servicemen, and I'm not broadly pointing out generals or corporals or anything like that, or anybody that's you know, in that role. I'm just saying something like this is it leads you to believe that our military it fails them, and it's not an isolated incident, unfortunately. We're here to talk about you know, Chad, but it is not an isolated incident. I think when we pre-talked a little bit before the show last week or a couple weeks ago, when we set this interview up, you talked about it still going on today. It is. And how's that possible?
Big pharma.
Big pharma.
It sells. It's big pharma. It's you know, give them the pills because they teach these young men how to kill, how to survive. But when they're home, they're done with them. They don't teach them anything on how to deal with it. There's no decompression or they need to do something. They just pitch them back out there and fill them with drugs. And it's been going on for a long time because we didn't realize how bad it was until we started getting phone calls from Stan White. His son died in February. Chad died in May. Same drugs.
Wow.
Same drugs. He was supposed to meet, he was out of the Marines, supposed to meet his mother for lunch. He didn't show up. She came home and he was dead in his bed.
Wow.
So, I mean, like I said, we started getting all these phone calls. Dr. Bauman, who passed in 2022, he used to have a list of autopsy reports. At 525, I said, I don't want to see the names anymore. I get it. We got to do something. We can't fight big pharma.
Names.
525 names on that list of the same. Yes. And that's of the people that contacted him, or there was an organization called Least We Forget that would give them the autopsy reports. So
only the ones he knew of.
Those are the ones he knew of.
He knew of only.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's tragic. And so when folks go to the website, and I'll kind of briefly go into that, cplchato.org. I think we had it up there and we got it on the bottom, and we have some comments too that we would like to play as well. But you can see the gallery. So I read the story. It's an incredible website, by the way. Really tells the whole story. And then I went to the gallery, and honestly, you can see the progression from, you know, him at home prior to joining, from him leaving for boot camp, the smile, just a good looking, proud boy. Right. Yeah. And you can see the progression in the pictures of it. It literally, the pictures, when they say, you know, what is it? It's 1,000 words.
1,000 words.
It tells 1,000 words. It tells 1,000,000 words in this story to me. Because it's each picture, as I was looking at it, I'm like, wow, you can just see the downfall, you know, happening to him. And it's like nobody did anything there. Nobody did anything to help or to call it out. Just pump them with medications, which we all know. I mean, you know, everybody knows all these mixture of medications. We grew up to, you know, never mix. Hell, don't mix booze and pills. Don't mix this two medications. Don't mix that. If you take Tylenol, you got to wait 2 hours to take Advil. I mean, it's like, right? You think it was simple stuff.
Yeah.
But here it was just, you know, it just, the fact that they did not care is
No.
absolutely the part that really, it just kills me. And seeing the pictures, it was just like, no, this story needs to be told. It's crazy. How did you, what made you, I guess, start, or how did you start the Corporal Chad O Foundation? I you know, I wouldn't even know how to start a foundation. So it's, you know, that's the crazy part, right?
Yeah.
How did you do it, and how has it helped to this point?
It's all of his buddies, his high school buddies, were all sitting around the house, and I would always kind of give them updates. They would come over once a week, and we would talk about, okay, this person called, you know, and finally they said, we got to do something. And they wanted to do a nonprofit. That's not my I don't have that in my bag of tricks. I didn't know. So it was a lot of reading, and we picked that first name, the long name. Now it's, you know, just Chad O Foundation, but we thought, all right, let's do this. I went ahead and filled all the paperwork out and applied. In the meantime, the Austin has a nonprofit that you can go under, because we thought we're at least going to start awareness. We didn't have a doctor. We didn't have our niche, so to speak.
Correct.
But we were starting getting money in for, you know, just for Chad dying. And I'm like, I don't want it. It needs to go to somebody else.
Sure.
So we started with them, and it took about a year to get it approved. And it was actually approved on the first time, which I was told it never gets approved the first time around.
Wow.
It did. And then at that point, we decided, okay, we can't do it all. We see a lot of deficit with our military, but what's going to be the niche? So we thought, let's do the awareness, because I had a lot of civilians like me thinking that, oh, they take care of their guys. No, they don't. So we focused on awareness and then non-pharmaceutical care. And that came a couple years later, because it was very difficult trying to find doctors and because I wanted the first responder and military together.
Correct.
But they still were prescribing meds. I'm like, okay, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Right. And then Tanya Glenn happened to be running by our bench. It was a godsend. It's been awesome.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. And it's just grown from there. So by my records, because everything I don't know who goes through the treatment unless they email me or call me. I want anonymity, because that's what I have noticed over the years. There's so much of a stigma around it.
Yes.
I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I don't want them thinking I'm going to be blabbing it, whatever. So I just ask for certain pieces of information. There's no way to identify them. So if I can get a grant, which has been very difficult. Yes, because they want evasive, or they want information that I don't know what they're going to do with it. And it's like, then forget it. We're done. I've turned several down. So based on, through Tanya, we've used the Hearth Foundation. We've used different horses, because sometimes the EMDR is not their bag. I don't want to shove them. If they're asking for help, then I'm going to give them what they were asking for. But our main to go is Dr. Glenn. So through hers, we're up to 356 that have gone through hers.
Nice.
And then we've had others. There's about 28 that have gone through other programs. And one of our volunteers in San Antonio, where I was trying to figure out the numbers and everything, and she goes, they're not accurate. And I said, yes, they are. You know, I know what I'm doing. And she's like, no, you don't understand. I was on those same medications that your son was. I didn't go through your program. I started looking them all up and went, crap, I don't need to be taking these.
Yeah.
And she slowly weaned herself off. She goes, so she goes, you need to add me to that. I didn't seek your treatment, but I saw, and
yeah. Well, because of it, it brought the awareness that, whoa, wait a second. I'm on the same things, or I'm on similar medications
Yeah.
for it. We Tanya just emailed this morning. We were supposed to have her on the 17th, but she said she had to postpone because it was super busy. We were initially supposed to have her on in January. That was the schedule.
Yeah.
There's been scheduling back and forth, but we literally cannot wait to have her on to talk about it. So Tanya is she's the therapist, right? Is that what
Correct.
Okay,
she does EMDR.
EMDR. Gotcha.
So how many therapists do you have?
I have her and her group, and then I just I've been using the trauma counseling center up in Conroe for the ones that can't get there, or and I visited them. That's another thing, is I'm not going to ask them to go somewhere. I always go talk to them. I'm not a doctor, but I trust my gut. I trust if the hair on my neck goes up, I don't care if you're the Pope, I'm out of there. There's something wrong with your juju. I'm not going to do it. And Shannon Brown is the therapist up there. And right now she's got a family in there. The kids are afraid of their father because he's had so many outbursts. She said they need therapy. Will you cover it? I said, absolutely. The whole family needs to understand the triggers and understand everything. So I do have two I use. Tanya is our main. Yes. And then we have just other things like the motorcycle missions, and then we have Hearth and the Joyful Horse Project. Yeah.
But your push is non-medicate. It's to help fix them mentally without medication.
Correct.
Show them that there's people here for you. We're here. This is what we're going to do. And so that's awesome. I
was talking, Julie, to my wife, kind of going over the whole your story, the Chad's story, what happened, how to treat it non-pharmaceutically. She's in the medical industry, and she 100% like agrees with this whole big pharma is terrible. Like all the medications are terrible, and she was like, is therapy enough? Will it ever stop it? I'm like, I don't know that it'll ever stop it, but when you take teenagers seeing what Chad saw and then trying to have to deal with that, at least the therapy portion, talking about it, being able to talk about it. And if you could have done that to his superiors, this would be a whole different world right now for you, And
the key comment there, Dale, is teenagers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, not all were teenagers, but
I don't think you ever stop the post-traumatic stress. There's no way, it's hard. Not sending them into battle is obviously the key. That helps, right? But unfortunately, it's the nature of the military, and that's what they do, and they sign up for that. And will non-medication save them, or just therapy save them all? Probably not. Unfortunately, there's still 22 veterans who commit suicide daily in this country, right?
Yes.
So does it or no? But I mean, it's the old adage, if I can help one. I mean, if that one can help somebody else, it's a trickle down effect of it. I commend you for what you do and being able to take, losing a child is absolutely the worst thing on earth. And I could never imagine, and don't ever want to imagine, being in those shoes, regardless of how it happens. But in your situation, thinking that, the risk is there. He's at war. That could happen. But not this way, right? That's not that's just not how it's supposed to happen. If it does, it's just not that way. And so I don't know how you did it. I don't know if you had advice. I guess the question is, if you had one particular, how to get through it, whether it's faith in God or whether it's just, I swear a lot, I don't know. I punch people,
swear a lot.
Whatever it is, I mean, how does somebody get through that? How did you get through it? You and your husband get through this?
It for me, it was the foundation. It was, I was so pissed off. I was so mad. And then hearing and listening and crying with these other mothers, I think it was my anger. I would have to say it was more of my anger that I threw myself into this. And I'll be honest, I still get calls and I still cry. And there's times that I thought, why? Because they're still dying. And then I'll get a phone call from one of or an email from one that I didn't know. And he would give me, or she give the story. And then I'm like, okay, to me, that's Chad saying, all right, Mom, suck it up. because it does.
You're
I
doing
still
the
have a
right
day
thing.
job, and then
Yep.
dealing with this, so knowing those people are grateful and they're still with their families and they're alive, and that mother doesn't have to go through what I did.
Yeah.
Then I will continue to do it no matter, just till the day I die. I mean,
God
it's,
bless you for it.
Yeah.
Thank
I
God
can't
there are
remember. I
people
can't
like
think
you.
of his name off the top of my head, but the person who's been assigned to Veteran Affairs. Let's hope because we have our enrollment in the military is going up now.
Yeah.
You know, we're having more and more of these young men sign up,
And women.
and it's great. We love this, but let's let this happen. You know, let's find a way to help them during, and then after they get out, maybe
Correct.
give more money to the Veterans Affairs to
Yes.
let them help our veterans and the ones who are currently active and inactive. Right?
Right.
I mean, we need to do this. We need to push. And I'm hoping that I wish I could remember his name. He was just appointed, but let's just hope he sees this and starts pushing this stuff.
Yeah.
And because these are young men that are fighting for us to be able to do stuff like this day in and
Yep.
day out. And our goal is to make sure there's no other loss.
Yeah,
like
there is. That's a good. Julie, if you don't mind, I want to play something real quick. It's about the organization.
Right.
2 minutes. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more if you got time still. Like I said, I
I'm
know
good.
Okay, so we'll be right back. Just listen to this, folks.
Okay.
Corporal Chad Oligschlaeger served his country with honor, courage, and unwavering dedication to his fellow Marines. But like so many of our brave servicemen and women, Chad faced an unseen battle, one that tragically took his life. His story is not unique, and that's why the Corporal Chad Oligschlaeger Foundation was created to ensure that no veteran suffers in silence. Our mission is clear: to raise awareness about the mental health crisis among veterans, provide access to life-saving resources, and offer direct support to those who have sacrificed so much for our freedom. From peer mentorship programs to crisis intervention to treatment without harmful medications, the Corporal Chado Foundation is committed to making a difference, because every veteran deserves hope, healing, and the chance to live a fulfilling life. Our heroes fought for us. Now it's time for us to fight for them. Join the mission, donate, and get involved, because together we can save lives. Visit cplchado.org today and stand with those who stood for us.
I can't watch that without tearing up, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well,
and your reaction, I'm sorry I sprung that on you like that. That's hard to watch. And your reaction is, I hope it's okay. I hope that was good.
Julie, we're pushing
why it's important.
With the Warrior Shield organization. We have decided, and we'll make it formally known, but towards the end of, we're going to pick a Wednesday, not a Wednesday, a Thursday, Dale? Or was it
Wednesday night, Wednesday evening?
A Wednesday evening towards the end of February, we're going to start it, and then we're going to do it once a month until the Warrior Shield event, where we're going to do an evening where it's just talking about Warrior Shield and Corporal Chado Foundation.
Okay.
And we are going to ask yourself, Steve, Chance, and all the members that we can to come on to talk about this event, to give money. It's a mini telethon is what we kind of call it, is that we want people to go out and donate $5. Just $5. Don't go out, whatever you can afford.
Yeah.
Go out and donate it and put it out there, because we want this event to be huge, because
Mhm.
we want the Corporal Chad Foundation to get money that can help many, many, many veterans that are
Many,
facing this.
many.
And so we hope that we will reach out to you. We'll have you on. We
Mhm.
hope you're on more than just
Yeah.
today. We're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
have you
yeah,
on
yeah.
throughout the
Right.
day.
Yeah,
But we also
we
want you to come
gonna
on
push it.
in
Mhm.
the evening as well for this
Okay.
one special, because that's all we're talking about. We're no politics, nothing. It's just this and what's going on and
Okay.
why it's important.
Yep.
And
So, yeah, that's what I was talking about. There's so many more pictures and so many other things on there, but he was just just a good looking, happy kid. Was he engaged? Was it his fiance?
Yeah, you had the second picture. That was
Second picture, that
Adriana.
was his fiance
Yeah.
on there. Just a
Yeah.
beautiful young girl, all their life ahead of them. They're about to
Yeah.
get a house. I mean, it was all sorts of
Yeah.
positive things. And to think that it was kind of left, you know, as a mixture of medications that they gave him. I mean, they killed him.
Yeah.
And it just looks like, oh no, he just took multiple medications. And it just
Yeah.
aggravates me. Like, I'm so angry about it.
Yeah.
It- anyways, so
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I've
Go on.
actually had dreams. I would love to
Yeah.
get those people that gave him the meds,
Oh,
give
strangle
them
him.
the meds, and
Mhm.
let's see how you feel.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Eye for an eye.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yep.
no,
we'll
That's-
eye
be
for
right
an
there
eye.
to help them take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right there. Anyways, to kind of finish up this portion here, I just want to say that it's an honor to be a part of Warrior Shield, but then it's an honor to know you and to help with this organization. To be honest with you, which I had not heard of until the Warrior Shield got involved with it. Right? I mean, there's so many nonprofits and
There's a lot out there.
There's
Yeah.
a lot out there. But and we always tell people that we're like, okay, there's a lot of places you can put your money to. There's a lot of things you can donate to. There's a lot, but just be mindful of where you're donated to
Yeah.
and where the money's going. We know so many of the nonprofits that are just skimming right off the top and people are getting wealthy off it and all this other crap.
Yeah.
And then there's people like the Warrior Shield and like the Corporal Chad Foundation, where the
Yeah.
money is actually being used the right way. If you're going to put your money somewhere, put it to places like this.
Yeah.
Again, they can go to cplchato.org, right? They can
Yes.
donate there. Jim, is there any comments you want to put up here? So there have been people commenting the whole time up here, and I haven't been paying attention to them.
Let's do this. Let's do the warriorshow.org.
Okay, very important.
And then we have the corporalchato.org
Yep.
to donate to.
Mhm.
Because right now, when you donate to Warrior Shield, that money's going to Corporal Chato. So donate to both.
Yep, exactly.
We have some comments. Wow, this is just wow. God bless her.
Mm-hmm.
M's dad, this is incredible to listen to. God bless you. Tarna, this is so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then Aiken, this is heartbreaking to listen to, and it's only one example of how many thousands, and we discussed that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just a lot of people who are with you, crying with you. This makes me want to scream at the top of my lungs. That's
that
exactly
too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the story. It just,
Mm-hmm.
and then as a civilian, it's so infuriating to hear these stories. And because we're supposed to protect them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's a fellow Marine family. So they
Marine parents, my wife and I are so sorry. Our hearts
Sorry.
and prayers go out to you. Yep. It truly is just a sad story. But the work you're doing is absolutely angelic in a way. I mean, this is, and the people you got involved and to hear Steve talk about you and the organization has just been absolutely uplifting. If you could take the positive from this negative, you yourself are uplifting and the work you're doing is uplifting, and that's the way you get through things.
Yes.
you were able to do that. So what is this, Jim? If there's
It's from
documentation,
from Eddie, the head of our
oh,
network.
okay.
If
Yep.
we have some documentation, they're going to CPAC. They're going to
Mhm.
be there, and they're going to have a table. So if
Mhm.
there's any sort of like pamphlets or something that we can see about getting, where he can put it out there at the table,
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
bring up
we
awareness
do.
of it, because
Okay.
CPAC that's a pretty good place for things like this.
Yep,
Okay.
that's
They
for
actually
sure.
care.
Mhm.
They actually
Mhm.
care about our veterans, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
so we need to do that, and then of course Eddie Dale that needs you to send the raw video, and then we'll
So
play
you
it
can
on
all post
the
it.
whole
Yep.
network so everybody can
Yeah. So
get
that's
the
the head of our
message out.
network there. But
Yeah.
um Julie, any last words before we let you go? Anything you want to say to end this? There's so much more to talk about. We will have you back
Oh,
on, and
Yes,
throughout
absolutely.
Yeah.
this, because yeah. But anything, we'll let you have the last word.
I mean, to me, this is a blessing. We've been wanting to go to the next level. We don't want to run out of money. We did almost one time. Nobody gets paid. I didn't mention that. We are all volunteers. We all have day jobs. Nobody gets paid. It's all for the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anybody, just remember, it's anonymous. They can email me. I'm the only one that will answer that email. If I will not share anything unless I have permission.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to feel safe.
Can you give that email out?
You're not judged.
Yep.
So
what's the email address they can reach you at? I'm sure it's the one we have, but go ahead.
CPLChad at cplchado.org.
CPLChad at cplchado.org.
Yes.
And she will respond, people. So I
Yep.
know that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt she will. Julie, God bless you. Thank you so much for coming on today. Again, we can have hours and hours with you, and we hope to. So we'll reach out again when to get you back on. And we know you have a day job. We all have day jobs.
Yeah.
And we'll schedule another time that's good for you.
Okay.
You have some flexibility as we do. Hopefully we can get you on one of these Wednesday evenings.
That's
when
the
we
key.
hope to really push it. That's the
Yeah.
key. It'd probably be easier for you as well. So we'll throw you out those dates, and we'll get you back on. And I can't thank you enough for sharing Chad's story, sharing your story, and the work you do. It's absolutely heartbreaking, but
God bless you.
It is uplifting as well at the same time. So all right, we'll talk soon. Thank you again for coming on. We appreciate you.
Thank you, and thank you everybody else.
Oh no, that's great. It's our honor. So talk to you soon.
Bye. Okay. Bye-bye.
I literally that story, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. That story just absolutely, his story just kills me. I can't watch that video without like tearing up.
Well, I dare people to try. I mean, it's just it just hits. And seeing individuals like her, that strength as a mother, her husband, as a father, to do all this stuff. And
none of this I don't know that I'd have that strength. I mean, I guess you don't know until you know, and I hope I never do. But
because parents aren't supposed to outlive their children, right?
What's that?
Parents aren't supposed to outlive their children. That's
just the way
it's supposed to be, right?
The way life's supposed to be.
And when your child is taken from you, especially in this way, it's
so a couple more comments here. Jim, if you want real quick, throw them up there. Do you see them?
Yeah, Stephen. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Steve, too, for
now
joining.
You know why I love Corporal Chad Eric Oligschlaeger Foundation for PTSD. It's she's phenomenal, and I can only imagine everyone else part of that group is phenomenal. Rich, Warrior Shield Foundation, they're here. We are here to help. We absolutely
that's
are.
why, folks.
And I feel like I can say we.
Now you know.
I feel I can say we because I feel we're a part of the Warrior Shield Foundation.
This is why, folks, we keep pushing the Warrior Shield Foundation, because of people like that. Let's give her a platform. Thank you. Absolutely. Her story needs to be told and told all the time.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. She's just folks. She's just so strong. I mean, you saw her. She tried to get through it, and Dale has to throw this video out there to make us all cry. So
it was the first time she saw it, and I thought about this, and to be honest with you, and I'll tell the story. I did that, and I sent it to Steve. I did and I said, can you review this, because I don't want to play this if this is going to do some disservice, or if it doesn't honor it enough, or if there's not enough in there, or if it's too long, or whatever. I'm just like, something needs changed, the wording does, and he said she'd love it, and I think she did, and it was
you
an
saw
honor.
her. We were able to see her reaction because she's on our, we could see it, and she was she's like the smile,
and then the tears, and then which gets me, because I can't stand watching any woman cry, so that just but yeah, that was incredible. Folks, listen, we're gonna go to Grit Gear real quick here. And we'll be back to talk about a few other things and have a top 5 and kind of maybe brighten the mood a little bit with Jim's wonderful list of foods that probably everybody likes but makes him gag. So we'll be right back.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
We stand as Americans.
These great shirts that we're wearing, hats we're wearing.
United We Stand shirt. I haven't worn this one in a while. I don't know why, but at any rate, it's beautiful, and you get it all through Grit Gear Apparel. And their coffee is absolutely tremendous. So
don't forget about the coffee.
Don't forget about the coffee.
Do not forget.
Yes, absolutely. And I could have played the Lock and Load commercial again. I'm not really happy with that one yet because of the, but I'll fix it and then I'll play it more. But don't forget about the coffee. So that's gritgearapparel.com. That's lockandloadcoffee.com. And just so you know, folks,
use code 2GUYS.
Yeah.
Number 2 guys.
Yep.
Get 10% off.
Get 10% off your entire order. But on top of that, and this goes along with the Corporal Chad Foundation. Rich does all the shirts for free
for the weekend.
The Warrior Weekend, which is September 5th and 6th at the Rosen Center in Orlando, Florida. The whole weekend tickets, $350. Buy them, come up, show up there. Hotel rooms are dirt cheap for a resort. The resort is gorgeous, absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, it is. Lots of things to do.
Spectacular resort. Folks, just do it. Support that. These are the people we're supporting. If you can get down there, why not go to Orlando in September? Beautiful time of year. But on top of that,
even if you can't stay at the hotel, stay close and come on over.
Yep,
we'll be there. We'll greet you.
Yep,
you can meet us.
Yep, exactly. And but Rich, him and Sharon, they do all of the t-shirt giveaways because you get a bag with goodies if you're a VIP, and that's $350 the whole weekend. And he does it for nothing, right? He does it for nothing.
Yeah.
So in order to allow him to keep doing that, of course, he needs to make sales on his own.
Correct.
And so in order to do that, we need you all to share his sites, Grit Gear Apparel and Lock and Load. Support them. Great human beings, absolutely tremendous.
It's real simple.
Two of the best human beings I've ever met, personally.
Just go to gritgearapparel.com and look at all the different shirts, styles, women's clothes, men's clothes. They have hoodies, long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirts,
t-shirts,
everything.
Hats, leather, wristbands. They have. I just got some decals for the back of my car. They've got all sorts of stuff that you can buy on there, literally.
And I just placed my latest coffee order yesterday. So.
Did you? Good for you. See, good for you.
I even added that bold action. I went to a bold the bold coffee.
You did.
Yeah,
Oh, you're growing
that's
up.
actually really good. He had
Getting
sample of
ballsy.
it. It's great. Yeah.
No, thank you, man. Love you guys.
Yeah.
You guys do the work out there. Um,
I want to add a
folks,
couple more things
yeah,
here.
please do. This is
Tarna,
from Tarna. Mhm.
I cannot for the life of me understand how doctors prescribing these awful meds do not have database saying that the meds are incompatible and mixed with others.
Okay, they do.
Yes, it's the doctor's fault because they swore an oath to help and protect people.
Mhm.
We don't know what they're being told.
Yep.
Right? They work for the military.
Mhm.
We got to get those men out there. We got to get those men out there to fight. So give them whatever you got to give them, or do whatever you got to do.
And who's telling them that?
Yeah, exactly. I honestly believe that if there are doctors out there that know this and doing it,
Mhm.
they're liable. They should be punished. They shouldn't be allowed to practice medicine.
Mhm.
But that's the question.
Mhm.
Why? They have it. Like Dale just said, they have to have this. You
They
go to a
have no, they do.
pharmacy. How
They
many
have it.
times you go to a pharmacy and they pause you and say, "Hey, you're taking this blood pressure medication. Please understand that this is what happens. This drug that you're taking here, it could affect it." Right? So they know that's in
Do
there.
you, do you
They
understand
know what.
that? Like, I've actually seen because my wife's in the medical field, I've actually seen the booklet where she is at, and inside of there is all this medication does not mix with this medication. This medication doesn't mix with this one. Doesn't. They all know it. This isn't. The doctor knows this. Nurses know this. Uh, PNs know this, or NPs. I mean, nurse practitioners. They know these things. Yeah, give them a follow on X as well. Yeah, we need to jump up those X numbers on them as well, folks. So yeah, please do give them a follow on X. Yeah, so thank you again, Julie, for coming on. Thank you all for your participation in that and listening. We're gonna switch gears a little bit, I think, at this point. I don't know how much we want to really get into, if we even want to talk about USA Aid. What was really
Let's talk about that real quick because there's more and more that keeps coming out.
Yeah, what really pissed me off about it was, like, you take a look at like Warrior Shield and Shadow, and then we're pissing away all this money, literally your money, my money, all our money on these, transgender programs overseas, and a Sesame Street in Iraq or whatever. I don't know. And then you've got this going on, right? So then when the left starts screaming about it, like they all are, then you got to start thinking to yourself, okay, you're getting all the kickbacks. We know that. We know you're getting money from this. We know this is a push from you. If they're pissed off about it, then obviously it's a money grab for them. I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how they could be so aggravated that this money's being pissed away. When you look at things like this, how can they be so heartless and so, I don't know, soulless, that they are okay with all of the funds going overseas or to these bullshit programs where they're not getting the money anyways, but they're all getting kickbacks. And then they see something like this and they're just like, oh, whatever. We need our USAID back.
You see the Clinton Foundation, right? Remember that? Does everybody remember the Clinton Foundation that was supposed to help people all over the world? And that's what it was there for. It was not a laundering scheme for payments.
Correct.
If she became president. Not
Yep.
at all that, right?
Yep.
Over the years, USA supplied them $4.4 billion in money to the Clinton Foundation. Some of that, a lot of that, remember this whole thing with the Haiti situation when they had the devastation in Haiti? Remember all the complaints because the money wasn't getting there? They were trying to figure out where the money's at.
Where the money's at.
That these are individuals, this Clinton Foundation received that money.
Yep, correct.
They received it and
paid
never
for
gave
Chelsea's wedding, and
leaders of nations. Believe it was El Salvador, but there's Latin American and South American countries are coming out and saying, "Thank God they're stopping the U.S. aid."
Yep,
because it's not. They say it's not going to what it's supposed to go to. It's going to opposition. So, for instance, if somebody's currently in power now, Republicans do this too. All right, I'm not saying this, but what we're saying is this has got to stop.
Yeah,
because it was okay for the Republicans to do it when Bush was in office.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it was okay. They didn't care. Republicans had control. I never heard one time Republicans come up and say, "Hey, why are we giving money? Why are we giving all this money, $20 million to what was it, Peru, to
Yeah.
make this transgender comic book.
Yeah,
What was that doing to help the people of Peru?
correct.
How was that helping
Correct.
the people of Peru?
Mhm.
And just look at all the money and where it was going and what it was spent on. And my favorite one was the money given to the New York Times.
Oh,
So
geez.
New York Times comes out and their defense was, well, we have a fundraising group ourselves. That's what that money was going for. So we could help other people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That money was say nice things about us in your paper.
Yeah.
Or this money stops.
That's right.
Really? You don't think that was going on? Come on.
Exactly. Eddie said something down there, and he said, hold on. Talk a little bit about something. I'm gonna try to share something real quick. So
are you getting the DMs?
Yeah, I'm getting the one
Yep,
DM.
yep.
So
look at all where the money's going and all the people that and when the Democrats are fighting this. They're fighting. You have to ask yourselves why. Because weren't they the ones that were upset with spending as well? Wasting the taxpayers' money. Remember how many they care about us taxpayers. They care about us.
they do.
We had to hear about them going out there. And now what we're doing is finding out, folks, USAID was a laundry scheme. They were laundering money, eventually get back. NGOs were getting this. NGOs, and we all know about these NGOs, right? NGOs that give money to Black Lives Matter, that gives money to Antifa. Where the hell is this going? It's crazy.
Where the hell's it going? So here's what he sent to me. So I appreciate that. So I just downloaded it. But he said on his thing on the DMs, he said, check your DM. Sorry, where is that at? Sorry, guys. I sent the Afghan Sesame Street to you. So I don't know what this is. I haven't seen the video yet.
It first time like you.
We're watching it for the first time like all of you. So hold on. Let me see this.
السلام عليكم يا جماعة. أهلا وسهلا فيكم. خلينا ندللكم على الحروف الأبجدية. يلا خلينا نبدأ.
Eddie, that's exactly what I thought the Iraqi Sesame Street would look like. So, thank you for sharing that or sending that. But
it's exactly right. That's the whole point, is that they're fighting because they're trying to get away from this to get the attention where it's going on them, on where they were wasting the money.
Well, here
and there are Republicans involved in this too. Okay, Mitch McConnell was involved in this from day one as well.
I thought you said there were Republicans involved. Oh,
there are. Oh, sorry. Well, he has an R behind his name. All right, a Republican in name only. He's a Rhino. But the whistleblower stories are coming all over the place now. USAID is really coming out from the whistleblowers. But you notice you don't see them on CNN.
Oh,
CNN only talks to the people about how the Trump administration is trying to take over and how. And by the way, folks, Elon Musk is not allowed to see personal data through in the Treasury Department. So all this stuff that the left is hearing, he is not allowed to see that. He is only allowed to see the money and where it's going. That is it. He is not allowed to get personal information. So
he's not.
So when the left talks about that, they're lying.
Yeah.
So
Buckeye says, don't just want it stopped, want a public audit. Show us who was skimming money from these. I don't care who it was. I want to know who it was. Tarna.
We need to.
I want perp walks and handcuffs. Correct. Enough already. Here, this Andy Kim, he was on, Meet the Retards yesterday. Yeah. He said that here's what he thinks. I mean, he thinks it's okay for, our taxpayer money to go over for transgender surgeries in Guatemala. And he perfectly must be okay with it.
Elon Omar feels the same way.
Yeah, they must be okay with this. So here's
now with the Trump administration over the last week is just very clearly an American retreat.
An American retreat.
American retreat. Wow.
Look at this guy. Why is this guy
it comes to the rest of the world. Handing this over, like China doesn't even need to fight for their influence around the world now because of our own effort. We're doing China.
Oh, because all the money that from USAID, I get it now, Andy, that all the money from there was going to fight China's influence around the world. Did he not see the report? And these asshole reporters that don't do their jobs think that they're relevant. I don't know who watches this show. I don't, you know. I think their viewership's probably nil, you know.
But the problem is the people that watch this show are only getting this side.
Well, those people are. If you're only
I know
watching
that's
this
what's
show,
upsetting. That's what's
if you're
upsetting.
only watching this show, then you're probably I mean, you know who you are.
China's work for them, and I hope that the American people understand just how dire a situation this is going to be. Something that makes it more likely that we see conflicts, may have to use our own troops, and also this is something that affects our ability to be able to access other markets, to grow our economy.
Really?
So this has very
trillions of dollars, billions, I don't know if trillions, probably being wasted on bullshit programs across the world is going to help our economy.
Tangible impacts, and this is going to be devastating to our nation's national security.
Oh, it feels devastating to our security. It's devastating to your pocketbook there, Andy.
It's like they're all given the same script
they are
to read from. They're given the same script because everywhere you look, Elon Omar was on another show early on the weekend that pretty much said the same thing.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they think we're stupid. Now, the people watching those shows don't see where the money's going because CNN and MSNBC aren't going up and like what Fox News and Newsmax and OAN are doing. They're putting up there and saying, here's where the money went.
Correct.
CNN's not doing that. All they're doing is complain about, oh my God, it's a takeover. We told you Trump was going to take over. And that's what
our effing money,
it's
says
our effing money.
Right.
You are exactly right.
You are exactly right. Jim, I don't know if you want to play anything else or do we just want to kind of, move?
Well, we probably need to play our commercial.
Yeah, we do.
Then we'll go into
our top five. Okay, be right back.
Welcome to Shop with America, where the emphasis is on America. Our movement is to switch away from your shopping with the big box stores and the mega corporations back to supporting family-owned, made in America. We've been giving these big box stores our money every day for years. But what's happened is they've forced many small businesses to shut down. We call this the illusion of choice. We see all these products in these stores, but in reality, it's only a few companies that control it all. There are thousands of lawsuits for health damage because they put profit over our people. But there is another choice. We found a better way. There's a family-owned American factory with product integrity and have always done things the right way for the right reasons. And this company outperforms the big box stores. That's due to their month-to-month shopping club. They make everyday consumer products that we all use and buy again and again, like toothpaste, shampoo, coffee, and organic beef. Go to shopwithamerica.us today.
Yep, folks, shopwithamerica.us. Folks, we could talk a lot more about that later on when we got more time, and we will. But you can reach out to us. We can help you get through that. Shopwithamerica.us. Just go there, check it out if you're interested. And you should. It's all American made products. So if you're truly
boxes on the way, we should get them in the next day or so.
If you're truly interested in, and again, you're not going to find the name brand. But it is going to be the equivalents to those and better because most of it is healthier for you, if not all of it is. And their beef looks amazing, by the way.
The beef that's folks, that's what
that's literally.
So if you want, you can do one of the like you can go out to the website like Dale said, or you can send us messages here or on X. Send us a private message with your email address, and then we can go into our accounts and have it sent to you where you can go through the initial. You fill out everything.
It's a club. But shopwithamerica.us.
So here it is. So
it's like joining Costco, but it's cheap.
You can go out and do it yourself and fill out the initial information. You can go out and do that, or you can ask us, hey, here's my email address. Please send us. And then we'll go into our accounts and we'll forward it to you. And you go through. The meat, folks, is if you're a smoker or if you smoke your meats, not smoker. If you smoke your meat and or if you just like to buy steaks and grill a lot of steaks, there's monthly packages, there's every 2 months packages, but you get it and it gets delivered to you. The ground beef package, I am seriously considering because you can do add-ons. Like you can get your ground beef every month or every 2 months, and then you can get with that package. I want 2 New York strips. I want 2 ribeyes. I want two roasts.
4 pounds of ground beef, and it's all grass-fed Iowa beef here. No steroids. No, I mean, folks, just check them out. Really, honestly,
it's what RFK is trying to do.
Yeah, if you want to do what you really want to say and you want to do, and you want to buy American, then you get from people like Grit Gear, and you get Lock and Load, and you go to shopwithamerica.us, and you're not buying from them BlackRock and Vanguard conglomerates that own everything, right? So support Americans, support true Americans.
Crazy Southpaw, that is not the same Andy Kim that wrote Rock Me Gently.
No, it's not. It's not the same. Yeah, folks. So listen, please go support them. We appreciate it. Jim, I don't know. It's time for Jim's ridiculous top 5 list.
Yeah.
What we should name.
And so here's what's going to happen, folks.
What do you mean?
I thought
it was going to happen.
First off, 5 worst foods or 5 that make you gag. Okay, I could have grasshoppers on here. I could have spiders, but how many of us have really tasted that, right? Okay, so here's my top 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a garnish.
Oh,
it's not.
I can't disagree with that.
I don't care how much salad dressing you put on it; it tastes terrible.
You have to. Most foods like this, it's like you have to put something on it for it to taste good.
Yeah,
to me, it's just like and that doesn't even taste good. I don't care what you put on it.
Yeah.
Huh? What?
I can't put enough salad dressing on it.
You can't.
Terrible.
You can't. Yeah. It's disgusting. Agreed.
Yep. Terrible.
Agreed. Good one. So
tofu.
Here's my thought. I don't think I've actually physically ever eaten tofu. I have no idea.
And they fool you by making it look like cheese. See this? I got suckered so many damn times. It's like, look at this cube of cheese. I taste it. Boy, this cheese tastes like crap. What the hell is?
What does it taste like? I've never had it before.
Nothing. I kid you not. There is no taste. You have to add Worcestershire sauce, so you have to add something to it to
cooking with it. Then
it's supposed to be healthy.
Yeah, if I eat nothing, I'll probably be healthy.
This is one of the reasons I won't do vegan. No way.
Oh, no. Wow, that's one of 5 million.
And here's another reason I don't do vegan. My number 3. Anything impossible. Fake meat. True. Don't let this fool you. This impossible steak here. Don't let it fool you. There's this meatloaf up here made of impossible meat.
I'm proud. It's way better than mine. But
terrible.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I am with you on all of it so far.
Disgusting. It's not
it's great.
I want my steak to be a cow.
I want my steak to not be gray.
Exactly. Oh. Okay, now here's where I'm going to get a lot of complaints from.
So yeah,
onions,
you're just stupid.
Especially raw.
Honestly, you'd rather eat an Impossible burger or kale over onions.
Yes.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest. That's the stupidest list I've ever seen. Now you
onions.
Just discredited yourself.
I want to say raw onions, and for the simple fact that when I bite into a hamburger and there's an onion on there that I don't see it, that literally is all I taste. I don't taste anything else. And it
says the guy that could eat a bucket of onion rings.
Well, only certain thickness. I don't like the real thick onion rings because it doesn't get done.
Thickness matters.
But
size
that's
matters,
why I understand thickness matters, but that's what it is. So
that's terrible. That's terrible that's number 2 even.
But it's mine. Again, mine. All right. Like my sister would have tomatoes on here.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Now,
I love
my number 1 food that makes me gag is going to be my brother's, one of his favorite foods, that when you put this number 2 on, he loves that dish.
Yeah. What is it?
Liver. I folks. If you can eat it, God bless you.
God bless you. I don't care. I don't care.
There is not
how
enough ketchup or in this plant.
I could have 4 out of the 5 on there. Well, 3 out of the 5 because I never tasted tofu, but I 100% trust you on it. So I can have 4 of the 5 on there. Yeah, it was a good list.
Yeah,
Liver.
this liver, my brother, his wife makes this for him every birthday for him,
Yeah.
and she's got nose plugs.
Yeah.
She can't smell it, but she cooks it for him. She's
Oh my-
great, but
I got fooled once. My grandmother, I came to the house. She used to babysit me when I was a kid, and I came over and she was cooking something. I'm like, what is it? I knew it smelled weird, but she said it was steak, and I bite into it and I'm like, and I told my dad, I remember telling him when I was younger, I'm like, that was the worst steak I've ever had in my life. It was freaking liver. She fooled me into eating that shit. And, no, ever since then, not a bite of it. It's terrible.
So
Good list.
Dales, let's play some here.
Yeah, go ahead. Aikens, 4 foods that I can't stomach. Asparagus. I love asparagus. Brussels sprouts, depends on how. Yep.
Yeah.
Depends on how that's cooked. Cottage cheese, terrible. Oysters,
I like cottage
love
cheese.
it. I
love oysters.
I love oysters. Other than that, I'm a garbage can that can eat just about anything.
That's the point. I
have a list
for me to come up with foods because I'll try anything. I will eat anything. Look at me. I mean, I like that, but there's just some foods that I don't like. Now I do enjoy asparagus, Brussels sprouts, especially in a salad. I like cottage cheese. I do like.
I gotta play Buckeyes next because number 5. I don't even understand.
Yeah, she said she was going to have some on there. That
Ice
was
cream.
Yeah,
is that a lactose thing?
I wish I hated ice cream.
I can eat ice cream. I can eat ramen, good ramen, not like the stuff you get at the store. I can eat raw oysters. I can eat ham salad. Number 1, I agree.
Liver and onions. Yep.
Yeah, the liver part. I can eat the onions. Ice cream. That is a weird.
Yeah, that is wow.
That's strange, isn't it?
She did say there was going to be a couple on.
I know.
That we probably So
I wonder why.
Interesting.
All right, here's Grit Gear. Canned cranberry, a free.
You're right. Yep.
I can eat spinach and ravioli, like Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Mushrooms.
Oh,
liver and onions. That seems to be pretty popular.
yuck, and yuck. It does. I think Emsdad had a list too, right?
There.
Love sushi.
I need my sushi.
Bear's terrible.
I need my.
He's got onions too on there.
Onions, yes. Thank you, Emsdad.
My list is going to be quite different. Are you ready for it?
Well, we got. Okay, wait. Do we have another one? Oh,
you got Grace
more here.
Hot
dogs with ketchup.
Yeah, but hot dogs in general.
I know,
right? Raw liver, but nope. Tofu never had it, but yes, anything vegan. Rocky Mountain oysters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bull's balls.
I've never had it.
Tough to eat. I have. I've had it once.
Oh, you have?
It once out in Colorado. It was interesting. I will try anything once. I will, honestly. I am literally will try anything once. I'm not saying I would order Rocky Mountain oysters again, but I had to try it, right? When's the next time you're going to get some bull's balls? Okay, here is mine, which is going to be quite different than from most of you, I would think, at this point now. Liver and onions didn't make the list, and it should have, and I got an honorable mention. By the way, number 6 could have been Skyline chili. I'm telling you.
Hey.
Anytime you put spaghetti noodles in chili, it's not chili. It's garbage and dog crap. And Skyline is terrible. But anyways, that would go into a different category in a different top 5. That one would. But my top 5 foods. My number 5, stuffed cabbage.
Oh, see, I like stuffed cabbage.
Oh my God. The smell of it.
Yeah.
It smells like
smell
dirty
great.
socks are cooking.
No, you're right. It does not smell great, but I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, I hate it. And I like the ingredient. I will eat cabbage and salad. I will eat sauerkraut even, believe it or not. And I will eat ground meat. I mix those two together and I want to throw up every time. I don't know why. Stuffed cabbage. I hate it. My number 4, grits.
Oh, see,
I don't know if you ever had grits. They fool you by making it look like a nice big helping pot of mashed potatoes
or cream of wheat.
Terrible. It looks like mashed potatoes with a nice stick of butter on top, doesn't it? I don't care if you mix sugar or butter in it. Grits are terrible, and I learned that when I moved south.
I have to put a lot of sugar in it, and then it just defeats the purpose.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Why?
I agree with you. Right?
Why?
Yep.
Grits is terrible, and I know people that love them, but I can't stand them. Number 3, lima beans.
Oh, my wife would agree with you 100%.
Those chalky little green pieces of crap are terrible. I don't care how you cook them. You can put them in a soup. You can cook them just regular. Lima beans, I think, are just absolutely terrible. And I'm very shocked that there weren't on some of these lists, besides onions, more vegetables on there, to be honest with you. Well, they had Brussels sprouts and asparagus, I guess.
Yeah, that's an
acquired taste.
Spinach,
I get both those.
Spinach, yep.
Yep. Brussels sprouts definitely has to be. Here's a meal I cannot stand, and I will puke if I even smell it cooking. Tuna melts. I literally will throw up if I smell it cooking.
I'm not gonna. Yep, I'll agree with you.
Hot tuna is absolutely disgusting. And I'm a sushi guy, and I can eat raw tuna, and I can eat tuna sandwiches. You cook that shit with that crap in it, put cheese on it, nasty, absolutely nasty. And my number 1 is probably going to be a favorite of a lot of people's. I don't eat hummus.
Oh, yeah. That could have been on my list. That honestly could have been on my list.
Is absolutely putrid to me. Everybody seems like, well, put it on a piece of pita bread. No. Why would I do that when I can have a nice?
Because I enjoy pita bread
on a pita
and it
bread.
makes pita bread taste like crap.
It makes pita bread. That's what I'm saying. If I add something to something I like and it makes it taste like crap, I can't eat that. It's the thing I added. Hummus is it. So that is my top 5.
M's dad sounds like he's a guy like me because I hate nuts and brownies too.
Onions, I don't like anything they're cooked with, like nuts and brownies.
I don't like nuts in cookies. I don't like nuts in bread. I will eat peanuts by themselves, but
which is odd because you absolutely love nuts.
Anyway,
what kind?
Here's
my wife's list.
My sister-in-law's 5. Spam. Okra,
agreed.
Mushrooms.
I don't get the mushrooms and raw oysters.
Yeah, raw oysters. I love raw, but liver. Yeah, liver seems to be the top.
Liver's up there. Liver's agreed. Could have been on my list. You're absolutely right.
And Buckeye, I'm with you. The smell of hot tuna
and mayo is gross. So if you had a condiment,
we try to be damn funny.
If you had a condiment, Jim, that you had to put on there, one condiment, what would it be that you can't eat? What did you see? What did you see?
I got it from M's dad.
Change a diaper once. You'll never notice again. I'm saying you saw it, right?
You know, honestly,
I guess he's changed M's diaper.
Condiment. I don't know if there is a condiment I would not eat.
Really? Because that whole conversation last week was condiment of food. Does condiment count? And I said no.
Well, Buckeye asked that, not me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
because I like mayo, I like ketchup, mustard.
Okay, so obviously a tuna melt, which was disgusting to begin with because it has mayonnaise on it and mixed in it. Is that just by itself, or can you eat mayonnaise mixed in stuff? So that's enough. Like my wife cannot eat sour cream, but she can eat
tuna salad
dip or spinach dip or anything like that.
Like your tuna salad.
Yeah. Can you eat it with that? But what is this, Dale? Dale, isn't your tuna dislike the same as Jim's dislike of onions?
So you just said you can eat raw tuna and sushi, but you know, tuna melt. So it's kind of making he has a point. For once, he has a point.
If he wasn't such an asshole, I would agree.
Hey, I've got a lot of people.
I agree. Olives. Olives should have made the list.
And brownies.
Yeah,
I love olives.
Olives are terrible. Olives. Jim, what is our top 5 for next? We didn't even discuss this, did we? Oh crap, folks! We got to prepare them. We didn't even discuss what it should be.
I like the number 5 Secretary of Interiors. To be honest with you.
You can't name 4 of them.
I can only name
3 of them. 3 of them. Yeah,
I can only name 1.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's some more condiments, though, real quick while we're thinking of it. Condiments aren't food. Agree, M's dad. When you ask what's for dinner, you don't say mustard.
Well, you haven't met my wife.
Here it is. Mayo and honey mustard together is my favorite on any sandwich. I could try that, Rich. I
Yeah,
could
I
definitely
agree.
try that for sure.
Yep.
This from Rich said worst ugliest cars. Yes. Okay. I'm good with that. And he also said top 5 muscle cars, which I could do too. Muscle cars or ugliest cars? You guys
Let's
got
do
30
muscle
seconds
cars
to vote.
Let's do muscle cars Wednesday and then ugliest cars the following Monday. How's that?
Muscle cars, top 5 muscle cars
this week.
Do you even know anything about cars?
Huh? Yeah, I'm telling you, the Volkswagen Beetle is one hell of a muscle car.
That thing had speed. They raced them, by the way. Yeah.
There's gonna be some Shelby Cobras on there. Yeah, I got it. I got you covered.
Yep. Okay, let's do muscle cars. We'll do muscle cars. Top 5 muscle cars. I cannot wait. And there better be some specifics here. Like I'm gonna have years. Like this year, this model is what I'm doing. Yeah,
those are top 3 of mine.
Pinto, Gremlin, VW, and Thing. You forgot about the Yugo. Forgot the Yugo, Goober. Yeah, so I do like that. So Buckeye top 5 muscle cars on Wednesday. And Jim, I think I need specifics from you. I think I need a year. You can't just say the Chevy Chevelle. Multiple years. They weren't all great. Can't say the Pontiac Le Mans. Had some great years. They did not have some great years. So I think you should be specific, Jim. What do you think?
Okay. Like I can't just say Camaro. Or
no, you can't just say Camaro.
I can't say that.
Yeah. The
because there was a few years the Camaro
was crap. Why would you say?
Yeah, the Corvettes and the Camaros. There were a few model years.
That's what I'm saying.
They weren't great. You're right. Okay.
And it wasn't a muscle car then. I'm sorry. The Buick Regal wasn't, or the Buick. Regal wasn't a muscle car. I don't know if it ever was Buick Regal, but at any rate, you get what I'm saying.
No,
right?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, because 67. Yeah, I get you. Yep.
So specific, folks. Top 5 muscle cars, folks. Anything else to add
like
before
a
we take off? Thank
Chevy
you.
With 4 on the floor.
Yeah, like one of it's not a Beach Boy song. Okay?
No, that's not a Beach Boy.
What was that one?
Y&T song.
What is it?
A Y&T song. All
No,
American
I heard
Boy.
that. What was the lyric?
I got a 57 Chevy with 4 on the floor.
I don't even know what the hell that. I don't even know.
You got to listen to the
Y&T. Who's Y&T?
You don't know who Y&T is.
Does it stand for something?
In God We Trust is one of the best albums they did. So anyway,
I don't
look up. They're an 80s.
No, I'm not.
Band, dude. They're an 80s hair band. So
I got Y&T. I'm not familiar with them. I got to be honest with you. I will look them up, but
Summertime Girl, All American Boy, great songs.
I have a feeling they're going to be shit if you're recommending it to me.
You'll like them.
Okay, sure. Top 5 muscle cars, folks. Listen, we want to thank Julie again. Oligschlaeger. I got to say the name slow. I'm sorry because I stumble over it. I don't know why. For being on here and for talking about the Corporal Chad O Foundation for PTSD. Please remember to go to cplchado.org and help her out. She will be back. We can't thank her enough for being on and telling the story. It's heartbreaking to say the least. warriorshield.org. Please go there. Don't forget shopwithamerica.us and also Grit Gear Apparel and Lock and Load Coffee. And all of you out there that participated, joined in, shared, follow us on our X at 2guys1coup. Share our X page with people so they can also find great people like Julie and help that organization out as well. So, folks, here it is again. Please, corporalchado.org. That is www.cplchado.org. We can make a difference, folks, and we can help. That's for sure. Jim, anything else?
One quick
Thank you,
mention for the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, we
halftime show next year. Change it
have
up.
somebody who knows how to sing, or
maybe somebody singing.
Just somebody. I would rather had Shabuzi. You know Shabuzi. You know who he is.
Yeah,
I would rather had him on there. Why not him? Why Kendrick Lamar? I don't care if he's fighting with Drake. I know the whole backstory. Blah blah blah. Don't care. Couldn't understand it. It was god awful. The only part of that Super Bowl that was great, was the halftime score. That's for another reason.
Yeah.
And also the when they cheered President Trump and booed old Taylor yeast, yeast infection, when they booed her. That was the best part of the whole thing. Commercials sucked.
Yeah, there were people saying the commercials were great. What happened to the comedy? I thought we were supposed to be able to bring that back.
I thought most of the commercials sucked. There were some good ones. The good ones were the Fox News commercials. They showed, those were the good commercials. But most of them did suck. Worst halftime ever. I could agree with that. Makes you want to go back to the Janet Jackson nips up days. That's for sure. Taylor Swift got dissed hard, no doubt about it. Pro-trans commercials. Yeah, it's just bad. The whole thing was bad. Anyways, folks, please follow and like on X, at 2guys1coup, at the Patriots Pray on X. Follow the Patriots Prayer Network on Rumble, please. And share this episode. We really need to get the word out to Julie, for Julie and Corporal Chado, and honoring her son. And you can go to warriorshield.org and donate, because that money's going right to this organization in September at the Warrior Weekend, September 5th and 6th. We will have more on that on every episode. Jim, anything else to add before we take off? We will see everybody on Wednesday. We do have another guest with us Wednesday. His name is Shane, and he's with Stand in the Gap. And they are an organization, and he too was a January 6th, I believe, prisoner, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And they help now those prisoners who got pardoned, thank God, transition into, again, lives that they completely lost at the expense of the Biden administration and the corrupt FBI. He will be here Wednesday to discuss that, so stay tuned for that. And top 5 muscle cars, specific. Yep. Be specific. Jim, everybody else out there, I won't name you all. You all know who you are. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And we'll see you all on Wednesday. Jim, we're out, buddy.